there multiple fucking times. I just don't care if Lio is currently getting in calls for people.
Yeah, you do, though. If you didn't care, you wouldn't be coming in here trying to defend him. And, like, speak for him. And try to convince people that he's better now, he's changed. You clearly care. Stand on business.
And randomly fighting with them.
Or get the fuck out, I don't know.
Or, like, making content out of stuff. I just don't give a shit. I've said this so many fucking times. And then, every time that anything comes up, it's like 20 people going, well, what did Beckett think? I don't care. That's what I think. And I'm just sick of being asked about it. That's when my...
Yeah, well, you come in here inserting your opinion about it into the conversation every fucking time. Leads me to believe that you care an awful lot.
She lies. I don't give a fuck. Like, whenever
I don't care! Let me keep telling you about how much I don't care!
The reason people are...
Why don't you guys care that I don't care?
Lio isn't because you're just randomly associated with him. It's because you assert him as, like, a person of authority in your streams and in your videos. You get, like, clips from him, you get recordings of him and stuff like that. That's why people are mad. It's not just because you're friends with him on Discord, right?
Why can't you use the resource? He's in the calls. Or he's got the info.
Wait, hold on.
Friends with him on Discord, right?
Why can't you use the resource?
Wait a minute! Wait, I could have sworn there was, I could have sworn that in one of Beckett's streams, like, from, like, a month ago, he was complaining about the exact opposite thing. He was complaining that people were accusing him of just using Lio for information, or using him for content. I could have sworn that he was complaining that people were saying that. And now he's like, oh, I can't use him as a resource? I feel like it's flip-flopping here. I don't, like, it's... Sometimes I frustrate myself because I don't hold on to every single little bit of information that I hear because I'm not A-logging this shit. But at the same time, I could have sworn I heard that. I'm not crazy. I thought he was complaining earlier, like at a previous time, about this exact thing that now he's trying to use here as a defense.
He's in the calls, or he's got the information. So what standard is this?
No,
yours! Your standard!
You're acting as if people are just randomly like, oh, Beckett's friends with this guy, so they're just freaking out randomly. That's not what's going on. You're asserting this guy as like a person of authority, and then people are like, oh, this is Beckett's top guy. It's obviously like half joke, but like, yeah, people are upset that you're like platforming this guy who's done like insane shit and then claimed to change and then not really have changed at all, right?
Well, I mean, he has changed though, hasn't he?
Beckett, the fact that you even genuinely believe, like, I cannot believe anyone genuinely believes, unless there's somebody who actually has diminished mental capacity, that he's genuinely changed. Like, to any extent of the word, I cannot believe that you genuinely think that. And almost all of his examples can be directly contradicted, and his response to those will just be like, oh, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. In fact, that's how much I don't care, because I haven't been paying attention. If you're not paying attention, then stop, like, coming out as, like, the keeper. His keeper. You are literally, like, coming out here being like he's changed, but you don't know how. I think you're remembering correctly, and this is where I started to get very angry. I don't know. I'm not going to say it definitely happened, because I've been wrong in the past, but I could have sworn I saw that in, like, the past month or so, that he got annoyed at people for, like, accusing him of just using Lio for content, and now he's sitting here like, oh, well, I'm using him for information, I'm using him for content. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm just insane. Wait. But, like, I don't know, let him speak!
I mean, like,
wow.
That's no, hold on. On a realistic ground, from where we're talking about, he's not phoning people's parents. He's not doing predator hunting. That's a change.
The problem is that you are citing the evidence that he's changed is his outward behavior, not his mindset about it, not his inward behavior. His like, yeah, he's literally not doing the things that people have criticized him for in the past. Sure. But if that's your sole criteria for him having genuinely changed, you're looking at it the completely wrong way. The way you know if someone has genuinely changed is if they can accept criticism for their actions, they're not going out of their way to keep continuously going back to defend their actions, and they're not going back to like minimize their actions, and they're not saying shit like, oh, you're lucky that I'm changed. Do you guys remember those screenshots of Lio months ago being like, if I hadn't changed, I would have thrown you to the ground and curb stomped you by now, you loser, you know? Or like, you're lucky I've changed, or stuff like this. Or like, I could have sworn he said to somebody, like, you're lucky I'm not, like, you're lucky I'm not like I was in the Rosa Call anymore. The way he talks about his past behavior and past things that he's done is almost reminiscent, fondly. It's not like he's looking back on that stuff and saying, like, yeah, I hate that version of myself. I can't believe I would do shit like that. It's like, oh, you're lucky I'm not like that anymore. Because if I was, oh, I would have destroyed you by now. That is the attitude he has about his quote-unquote past self. If you ask me, and if you've been asking me for the past year what I think about if Lio's changed or not, no, he has not changed his mindset. He has not changed. He has changed his outward behavior. He has learned how to mask it better. He's learned how to hide it better. Because what he was doing a year ago, directly after the Peaches stuff, was massive overcorrecting. And that's when you said that he's changed. He's better now. And then he flopped back into the other direction. Once he started getting cool with Vlad again, once he started getting into that crowd again, he went back to, you know, telling people to kill yourselves, or I hope you get doxxed, or I hope you get murdered or die in a barn fire. And, like, you know, making, you know, cracking jokes about people's abortions and saying edgy shit. And he's like, I don't care if people are getting offended I say that stuff. If you get offended by that, kill yourself. He said that in one of his streams, didn't he? He made like an offensive joke, and then he said, oh, if you're getting offended by that, kill yourselves. I don't care. He said something along those lines recently, and it's like, you can't sit there and say, like, he overcorrected so that people would get off his back, and that's indication that he's changed. It's just not. You have to look at somebody's long-term outlook on the situation that you think that they've changed from. And it ain't looking good for him. It looks like somebody who would do the same shit if they knew that they could get away with it. If they knew that the eyes were not on them. If you've ever noticed, throughout the past year or so, when Lyle feels like there are less eyes on him and less scrutiny on him, he will start acting out more. He will start doing shit that he's done in the past. You will have calls like the Sasu call. You will have calls like the VQ, the Via Key call, or whatever. You will have the Dreamer call. When he feels like there are less people looking at him and scrutinizing him, he will go back to his old ways. Easy. Naturally. It comes natural to him because that is his nature. You are like looking at a tiger who will just murder you the second, like, the chance he gets. You look at him from behind a cage where he literally can't do anything and go, look, he's just an innocent little kitten now. Look, he's not currently hurting anybody, but he would if he could. But he would if he could. And that's the point. The only reason he can't right now is because he's got too many eyes on him that would absolutely tear him to shreds. Anyway, that's my point about why he hasn't changed.